So there are 7.4 billion people in this world, and within that, 2.1 billion are considered obese. And I did the math on that, and that's roughly about 28%, and that's a pretty high number. And I also took that a step further, and I did the math and found out that by the end of my speech today, 2 people will have died from an obesity cause. And as a dietetics student, it's with a strong passion that I really desire to change this issue and solve it. And in order to make any effect on this worldwide issue of corpulence, I need to define obesity and where it comes from, and then also tell you the risk and prevention strategies behind it. So to start, I Googled the definition of obesity, and I know Google's not the most reliable source, but they had a really interesting definition, and that was the condition of being grossly fat or overweight. And I thought their word choice there was really interesting. They said grossly, and I think we all kind of know it is kind of a gross topic, and most people have an idea of obesity, but what exactly makes someone obese? So I went to the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control, and they said that for an individual to be obese, you have to have a BMI of 30 or higher, a body mass index, that is. And it's split into 3 different classes. Class 1 is going to be 30 to anything less than 35 BMI. Class 2 is 35 to anything less than 40. And class 3 is 40 and higher. And it's also called the extreme or severe obesity. And it's simply due to a lack of exercise and poor diets. That's where this all comes from. And considering those contributing factors, it's really easy to see that this is entirely preventable. And a lot of the time, people spend their lives worried about death being through murder or suicide or an accident, but really it's the foods we're eating that is killing us, and it's not so much just those type of things. And the leading cause of death is related to obesity, and I looked that up from Medical News today, and they state that the #1 cause of death in the United States is heart disease, and that's strictly from your diet, and it contributes to 24% of the deaths. So simply, it's the food we're eating that can kill us. And several lifestyle and dietary modifications can decrease the risk of heart disease dramatically. And to do that, we need to promote health promotion through education, workshops, literature, support groups, and a lot of other things. There's things out there that can help do this, and we need to go towards them. And lastly, before I go, I don't know how many of you this would be, but if you have, raise your hand if you have children of your own, or if you're an aunt or an uncle. And what's scary is that the last 4 generations, their children are going to live shorter lives than their parents. And not by just a little, but by a maximum of 10 years. And that's the first time that's ever happened in this world's history, and that's really scary. And so to make a difference in this aspect, it's important to realize the reality behind obesity and how we can promote a lifestyle that defeats it. I hope you all wish to empower people to fight obesity as badly as I do, so we can create a world that allows our children to have long and healthy